Let's switch gears and talk about some of the stuff you've done outside of wrestling. I know you've been involved with a lot of, done a lot of charity work, have done a lot of volunteering, worked in different kinds of organizations. What kinds of things that have you done over the years that you have done to help out in your community?
Um, I donate a lot. I will say donate my time. Going to visit schools. If that, I've talked in front of schools. I've talked. I've actually met with firemen and stuff like that. Um, Talked to when I was a Wake County. When I was with Wake County and I was a sheriff's office. Talked to people, in that range. Especially if I'm doing stuff for charity, I always donate my services and time, especially if it's for a good cause. Um, because that's the one thing I remember is, with if there's no fans and then there is no us. And I was raised to the point where that the community matters and the community is all. That's where especially where I live at, it's such a big heart community that I like helping out and doing things like that. Um, let's see what else. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Do you think of anything? I asked my wife a question. Um, But I like doing especially stuff with animals. I have a friend that runs a Rottweiler rescue in North Carolina, and anytime they need a Rottweiler in the area adopted, I try to find people, or my wife and I try to find people to help rescue them. We have two rescues right now, um, that we're taking that basically is ours. But I don't like seeing animals suffer because living on a farm, we deal with animals all the time. So that's what I like doing is helping out when it comes to helping people find animals because there's such animals can help you in so many ways.
They really can, especially if you have little ones, if they're puppies or kittens.
Hmm.
And they're just very smart, it's like they've
Yeah,
got their own instincts.
yeah, and
Um,
it's never the dog or anything. It's always the person raising them. They always say Rottweilers and pit bulls and all these animals are aggressive and they're dangerous. No, it's actually the person raising them. It's never the dog. Because I've had at one time my Rottweiler that passed away 4 years ago was 5 pounds from the largest Rottweiler in the world, and he thought he was a Chihuahua because he wanted to sit in your lap. He kissed and kiss babies, and we'd take him on trail walks where babies in strollers, and he would lick them and all the people. So he could have been the meanest dog in the world, but again, it's always the people raising them. They're always at fault.
what's your favorite part about being a part of animal rescue?
When that dog finds his forever home and the people, that the connection, because you can always see the smile on the dog's face or the animal's face when it comes to that they found their person. That's the part that I love seeing is when somebody takes a dog that was on the streets, like our female, we rescued her because they found her on the streets in one of the cities, and just to see the smile on her face when my wife spends time with her, is something that we'll always take with us because they're not going to be around forever. We outlive them, so seeing that smile makes the world to us.
Why do you feel passionate about helping out in your community?
Just how we were raised, how the community I was raised, like I said, raised on a dirt road on the weekends. If we weren't playing ball, we were helping the families around because tobacco was big in our area at the time, helping them out growing up. And it was a given time because I had a basketball court that I set up where it'd be 30, 40 black guys and just a few white guys. And we were all together. We'd all go stay with at everybody's house and hang out. And you go to the parks to play baseball and everybody show up. It was a big community thing. And that's how I was raised with being a part of a family. A lot of times family just is not blood. It can be anything. And that's how I still look at it today. Of course, the world and life has scorned me to some extent, and I've gotten my scars from it, as we all have. But there's a lot of good in people, and that's the ones you try to cling to and be close to. The ones that you have that connection and know that are good.
I like how you said that because you always don't want to look for the bad. You want to find the good in people and find the positive in
Yeah,
times that are just so hard and dark and troubling. You want to find that light at the end of the tunnel. It's always that shining light that you want to find to know that, hey, things are going to be fine.
yeah,
Things are okay. You just got to keep on
yeah.
going.
The world is even more divided than it ever has. But when you realize that, nobody's coming to save you, you're doing this on your own. You can't blame anybody but yourself to an extent that you got to, as we say, pull up your bootstraps and keep moving forward. And then you got to be there to when somebody else is struggling to reach down and help pull them up. So that's what I try to do that. It doesn't always work. And there's a lot of times that I'm selfish and I don't because it's sometimes, you can't help people but so much till they got to see it on their own.
And giving back, I feel like is just so important because you just never know what other people are going through, and you're helping.
You don't. Yeah, you don't know people's struggles, and until my story came out a few years ago, where I tried to commit suicide because of the things I was going through. People would message like, "Man, I had no idea you were going through this because you seem so happy." Well, yeah, you don't know what anybody's going through on the inside. That's why if you haven't heard from somebody that was a friend, or you see somebody's going through something, a simple phone call or a simple message means the world. That's what it took. I had one person to reach out to me and said, I look like I need to talk. And then the woman that's sitting here with me now is the reason I'm still here. She literally, legitimately saved my life. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here.
I'm so sorry that, you were going through such a hard time and rough time, and I'm glad that there were people out there that reached out and helped you, because, we're all in this together. We're all
Yeah,
one, and just so many things that we see and hear about. It's always you always have to get people that are in your corner to be with you and be on your
yeah,
side.
yeah. So many wrestlers, and just in people, but you hear of a lot of wrestlers that end up committing suicide. Um, and then that's when the messages come out of like, man, I should have done this, I should have done that, I should have reached out to him. Shit. Why wait? You never know. You just never know.